All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Austin Thompson with Thompson Management Consulting. I want to thank everyone for joining us for a very important and informative discussion. The topic for tonight, we'll be discussing the employee retention credit. This is an IRS credit that came out of the CARES Act of 2020, and specifically for the business community, the small businesses who were adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, where they saw a reduction in sales and revenues and saw a disruption in their operations. But this gives an opportunity for small businesses now per employee to capitalize on credits that they can get to their business. And since I am not the authority, I have my key panel with us tonight that will be discussing the employee retention credit and telling you all about it, how you as a small business owner can take advantage of it. And then we'll go into a Q&A and a discussion and learn a little bit about our speakers. I want to do some housekeeping before we start. I always do some housekeeping before we get started. First, just want to, for those joining us tonight, and I see people are coming in as we get started. I always like to start on time. You know, whenever we set a start time, I like to start on time. It's in respect to our giving respect to our speakers and to our attendees. So we thank you for joining us and coming in. So just for those who are with us tonight, please put all your contact information in the chat. I like to say the chat is used for sharing of business related information, not for matchmaking. So if you find some eye candy on the virtual platform, please do not be hitting up on my participants and speakers. All right. So let's be respectful of those who are on the platform and attending. I mean, that's serious, right? And also the chat is not for incendiary comments. Okay. So please be respectful of the chat and use it for the purpose it was intended for. Okay. We welcome everyone to turn on your cameras, and I see all cameras on. That's great so far. Please keep mics muted unless asking questions or if you're participating in a discussion. Feel free to have dinner while listening and engage in a snack or a beverage while listening. This is why we have these virtual platforms, so there's an advantage for that. You know, if you're driving, because I know we have attendees who tend to drive and try to pay attention to a virtual, webinar, please keep your eyes on the road. I don't want you to say that the accident was a cause of, the webinar that I organized. So I am not at fault for whatever, accident you may have. So please, keep your eyes on the road and pay attention. All right. Kindly raise your hands if you have any questions. And for those on Facebook, if you have any questions, please pose your questions on Facebook. We'll take your questions off of Facebook and read them to the speakers who are with us tonight. And also, I like to say that you're free to follow up with our speakers. We're going to have their contact information in the chat. We're gonna have their contact information. We'll have them, speak their contact information as well. So please feel free to follow up with our speakers. They are the subject matter experts on the employee retention credit program. Do not contact me for that. Contact them. Because I'll just be looking at you like, okay. So yes, so contact our experts on that information. And I just want to read a short disclaimer that I have, because I have my participants who reach out to our speakers and our facilitators, and I just want to make sure that everything is legally performed well. Thompson Management Consulting LLC, in addition to providing a myriad of small business services, plans, organizes, and executes business-related events for the solo and micro to small business community. We carefully vet, recruit independent consultants, hereinafter referred to as speakers, who are the authority in their respective professional areas, and provide an opportunity for them as subject matter experts who present information to our audience. If any of our participants decide to work with any one of our speakers, Thompson Management Consulting LLC is absolved from all liability which may arise from an undesirable business arrangement or outcome between our speakers and participants. We encourage all our participants who wish to follow up with our speakers to do their own independent verification and vetting before entering into a business relationship with our speakers. All right. I'm a big advocate for legal documentation and making sure that even when you're doing business between other businesses, having contracts. And remember, we had a speaker back in May who spoke on the importance of legal protection for your business. So I always encourage my clients and other consultants I work with, just make sure that we're doing things that protect ourselves legally, because you never know what might come from a business relationship. So with that said, I am going to go into the next desirable part of our evening, and that's I'm just going to read through the wonderful bios of our speakers here tonight. We have Florence Lumumba, Miss Florence Lumumba, Virginia Kimani, and Shane Styne with us this evening. And really quick, I'm just going to give a brief synopsis of the bio for our subject matter experts who are joining us this evening in this discussion. Shane Styne is the CEO and founder of Notch ERC. He has built Notch to a $300 million company. They have helped over 1,000 companies recover their ERC credits. His staff are seasoned attorneys. 2 of them are ranked top 50 in the US. We also have the best CPAs, paralegals, accountants, forensic accountants, and tax specialists. All right. So that's Mr. Shane Styne, who has built his company into a $300 million entity. So we're glad to have him on the call tonight, and welcome, Mr. Styne. Thank you for joining us. Florence Lumumba. Florence is a licensed financial professional who is passionate about educating her audiences and clients on financial literacy. Her mission is to empower her community with powerful financial strategies that will help them make informed decisions when it comes to their financial goals. She provides access to the tools needed to get out of debt, plan for college savings, protect income, wealth building strategies, estate planning, and much more for individuals and business owners. Recently, she has partnered with an accounting firm that is helping business owners file for their employee retention credit, whom I just read. Her background is in healthcare and finance, and graduated with a bachelor's degree in health science from the University of North Florida. She has extensive leadership and training experience and gives back to the community by offering free financial literacy courses. Florence has helped form a mental health support group in San Antonio, Texas. So welcome, Ms. Florence. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And last and certainly not least, Ms. Virginia Kimani. Meet Virginia Kimani, a driven and motivated financial professional eager to help people and families achieve their financial objectives. Virginia is dedicated to making a good influence on people's lives by assisting them in achieving financial stability and success through her significant knowledge and expertise in the realm of finance. Virginia began her career in finance when she learned how money works and great financial vehicles that we can take advantage of here in America. She then got a desire to help others understand the same, as she realized so many people do not know about these vehicles. She then established herself as a trustworthy and dependable financial professional. Virginia develops excellent relationships with her customers based on trust, openness, and empathy, as she has a natural aptitude for connecting with people and understanding their individual needs. Savings, investments, retirement planning, college planning, income protection, and debt management are just a few of Virginia's areas of expertise in personal finance. She stays current on industry trends and developments, and is constantly honing her talents to give her clients the most current and effective tactics. Virginia is distinguished by her genuine desire to help her clients thrive. Talk about a value proposition, right? She takes the time to learn about her objectives, dreams, and aspirations before creating any financial strategies that are tailored to their specific requirements. Virginia thinks that financial independence is within everyone's reach, and she walks her clients through the process step by step. Virginia is a strong supporter of financial education. In addition to her work with individual clients, she gives workshops and seminars in their neighborhood to help people of all ages learn important money management skills. Her ability to simplify difficult financial topics and make them understandable to a broad audience has earned her the title of her reputation as a sought-after speaker and instructor. Virginia's unwavering dedication to assisting people in achieving financial security has earned her a remarkable reputation in the field. Countless people have altered their financial lives with her guidance and skills, gaining confidence and peace of mind along the way. Virginia is a beacon of hope for those who are wanting a brighter financial future, and she continues to make a significant difference in her clients' lives, one financial goal at a time. Her motto is, no family left behind. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Virginia Kimani, Florence Lumumba, and Shane Styne. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. I want to thank you all who are joining us on Facebook, and thank you for those who have joined us already and who will be joining us as we go through this webinar. And please feel free to begin. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Austin, for that wonderful introduction, and also for having us on your platform. Thank you for hosting this series. And it's really amazing when, you know, people come together, because I know your heart, you want to give back to the community, you want to help business owners, you want to make a difference, you know, with the people that you serve on a daily basis. And that's where we come in. So I've been in the financial literacy field for the last 5 years now. And originally I'm from Kenya, moved to America, went to school, you know, we were told, hey, go to school, get a job. But then found out that, you know, we don't get to learn how money works or how to put our money to work for us. So I started on the path of, you know, educating myself. And the more I learned, the more I realized, wow, there's a huge gap with what we're being taught in school versus what we, you know, what we encounter once we are out of school and get into the working life. So 5 years ago, I became licensed and started teaching financial concepts, like really simple. And through that, I've been able to impact my community. And now when I found out through the different networks that I have, I was like, my goodness, COVID came and completely, you know, like shut down the whole world. And we saw a lot of businesses suffer. And then I met Shane Styne and heard about, you know, the company and what he's doing for business owners, you know, through the ERC, you know, applications. And I was like completely, hey, I still work with business owners and I want to help them more. And that's how we partnered with him. And that's why I want to share this with everybody out there, because there's a lot of people, and I know he's gonna go into more details, they've been told, hey, no, you cannot qualify, don't even bother. Or, I mean, there's a lot of like miscommunication out there. And that's why we needed to meet tonight and have that conversation from the expert, from somebody who's done it and already helped business owners go through the whole process. And it's just our way of giving back to the community and making sure that those dollars go in the pockets of the business owners that stayed open during that time. We know a lot of business owners were sacrificing like their own income to be able to keep the employees, you know, to keep them paid. So I'm really excited. I can't wait for, you know, Shane to go into more details and tell us more about the program. And I'll let you go, Virginia, before we bring on Mr. Styne.
Yeah, thank you, Austin, for giving us the opportunity and even the platform. We do appreciate, and even meeting you and doing business with you, it has been an honor. So as Florence, I'm also from Kenya, and she introduced me into financial literacy. So I usually see her and I see my banner burning very high because of her, and the way that I've grown and whatever I've known, it's all about her. So I always give credit to her for doing whatever she did to me. And then also, like, we came on learning about Shane and what he's doing. And I'm a testimony because we have also had a business, and we have staffing agency, and the nurses stopped working because they couldn't take whatever was happening in the market. So, and there are ups and downs that went down, and we closed the business and we closed everything. But I wish I knew something like this was gonna happen down the lane, because then we would have kept everything in books so we can have something to show. But finally, we opened up the business again, so it's up and running. So thank God, because people now are back to work and everything. And people also, the nurses realized when they work during COVID, they're getting a lot of money. So they decided to come back to work. But it was all fear. We all had fear. We all had people closed the businesses. People didn't know what to do. So having Shane come and teach us and tell us what to do after the fact that that happened and to rescue us is just another advantage that we need to take off, because most of the things, they come and go and we don't take advantage of them. So if we can have somebody who is teaching us and educating us and telling us what to do, let's take that opportunity and learn with it, and we are going to go far. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I guess I'll take off from here. Look, I appreciate the introductions. It's a pleasure to be here. And, you know, Florence, Virginia, you guys are right. The reality is they make things in our society today to seem too good to be true. They make things seem like that's a scam, right? And that's the reality of our world today, is people that do very well and have the information, they want to control it and they want to maintain it. Because the reality is, if we all have the information and we're all doing very well, it's a whole different world, right? So, you know, Austin, everything you said's correct about my company. I do have the greatest team on earth. And we have the greatest partners, right? That's key for me, like Florence and Virginia, and Eunice and Titus. Man, that ball hit is beautiful. Jaquez, Austin, you know, here's the truth, okay? And Austin touched on it a little bit. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program was part of the CARES Act, released in 2020. This has been going on for years now. And you would just be completely astonished by the tens of millions of business owners that don't even know the program exists. And then you have tens of millions more who found out the program existed, and their CPA, their attorney, their accountant, their bookkeeper, their trusted friend told them they don't qualify, stay away from it. It's a scam. It's not real. The government's out to get you. It truly blows my mind when I hear comments like this coming from CEOs of companies. And it hurts me more to help a business that doesn't hurt me, but to be able to help a business that was told something malicious and untrue by somebody that's in the industry. It's like, man, you almost missed out on $15 million for your company because your CPA was misinformed. All I do all day long is talk to CEOs and referral partners and chambers of commerce and senators and mayors. All I do is educate people every single day. And then I let my excellent team handle the rest, right? Because we are missing the information badly and we are running out of time. There is only about 8.5, 9 months left to even get the money for 2020. So April 15th of 2024 is the cutoff for 2020's ERC credit. It takes my company, and we're one of the fastest at it, okay, 4.5 to 5 months to recover your money. That's from the time we send it to the IRS. It takes 4.5 to 5 months to recover your money. A lot of companies are taking 9 months to a year. I don't know why, I don't know the difference. I just know that we are the best at understanding the program. We file faster than anyone else. We get everything prepared and everything sent in on time and complete. I think maybe that's the key, right? Is it's complete and it's accurate and it's correct. But here's the truth. PPP was the option that all bankers, all CPAs, everybody was pushing down business owners' throats, was take the PPP, because it was easy. And they didn't know ERC was an option. ERC in most cases is 10 times the amount of PPP money you received. 10 times the amount. So which is better? 10 times the amount, right? Or a little bitty portion of what you could have received. But the good news is this. You had a choice. You could only do ERC or PPP in 2020. And then the government changed the rules like they always do, right? But they changed it for the better. They forgave the PPP loans in 2021, and they changed the rules to say this. If we forgave your PPP, you can now go and collect ERC, file for it. Get the other portion of the money that you desire and you need. Because guys, the reality is this. Virginia told you, I had to close my business. I talk to business owners every day that are like, Shane, I literally just closed my business. I missed out. No, you didn't. I can still file for your ERC as long as your EIN is active. And as long as you can meet the guidelines during that time period, I can still get you some money, right? People just don't know. We have to share this. No one is coming to your community to put a hand out, pull you out of the gutter, pull you out of the hard times that you're experiencing, give you financial literacy, or give you an opportunity to get some money that can take you to the next level that, by the way, just so happens to be tax-free money, right? They're just not doing it. I looked at a lot of ERC companies. I looked at a lot of different ways things are done. And I saw a lot of things that scared me, and I saw a lot of good things. So I took all the good things, and then I took all the pieces that I saw gaps in. A lot of companies won't do it unless you give them money up front. You have to pay them to prepare paperwork for you and do documentation. You don't even know if they're going to be around afterwards. And in most worst cases, they're not even CPA firms. They're just document processing centers that popped up all over the United States to take advantage of the program. It is very, very important that you're working with a CPA firm when you do this filing. The #1 companies that will be reviewed and audited are the companies that did not have a CPA firm attached to their filing, right? So I started my company with no upfront fees. The next thing that I saw was companies would not touch business owners that had less than 10 employees, right? And I'm like, well, what about the little guys? What about the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, right? They need this money more than most other companies. So we decided that we would go work with any company that has 2 full-time W-2 employees all the way to 500, okay? So we're helping the big companies, but the mass majority of companies we're helping are the little guys, are the companies that are hurting the most. I don't know how to explain this to you other than I've talked to multiple mayors, and I would assume that a mayor of a city, right, or they would understand what programs are available, and I get blank stares back. And I have to teach them and educate them so they can go share with their community, right? The information is just not being received, and we have to do our job. So no upfront fees working with my company, 2 to 500 full-time W-2 employees. I'll help your business. We don't get paid unless the company receives money. If the company doesn't receive any money, they owe us nothing. So there's no risk. There's nothing on the financial side of an impact to that business at all whatsoever if we don't recover money. Now, I have not had one business declined. Every company we filed for, because we do it the right way, we follow the rules and the guidelines, and we just so happen to capture more money per employee than almost 98% of the other providers. There are only 3 or 4 providers in my space that do as good a job as we do. Now, the most valuable asset to working with my company, or the most valuable thing that you can take away from it, is this: no company is filling this void. I am the CEO and founder of the company. We are a very large organization, and we will be a $1.5 billion company by December. So I want you to take that in for a second. I hired the best people. I hired the people with 20, 30 years, 40 years experience in the industry. And I put together a team that I don't have to manage. I don't have to micromanage. I don't have to oversee them every single day, because my entire intention to start this company was not only to rebuild small businesses, one community at a time across the United States, but to be able to answer the phone. If you're the company, if you're the owner of the company, or the CEO of the company, or the CFO, if you're the person in charge of getting everything together and understanding the program, I will answer your phone call directly. I will speak with you directly for however long it takes. Florence, Virginia can speak to this 100%. If you are a referral partner to my company, I will answer your phone call. I will educate you. I will empower you with every tool necessary to go save these small business owners and make sure they're getting what they deserve. I'm okay. If I teach you something about the program and you go work with someone else, I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I helped you and I paid it forward, and I'm going to get the blessings in return. At the end of the day, my job is to educate people, support people, and be a servant to people, and the blessings will come. So with that being said, I made this process as easy as possible because business owners are in a whirlwind right now. They are literally in a whirlwind. Some of them haven't paid themselves in 2 or 3 years, because the most important thing to them is keeping the doors open and keeping food on the table of the families they employ. That's why I'm so passionate about helping them get this money, because they need it, right? I built a website that a business owner can literally click on 2 buttons, watch a 3-minute video that will teach them everything they need to know about the program. I've got some other attachments, some other links directly to the IRS. So there's no question, there's no misunderstanding of what's going on. You can literally read it with your own eyes on the irs.gov website. If you don't believe the program's real after reading it on the irs.gov website, I don't know what to do for you, and I really can't help you there. But the IRS isn't posting things on their website that aren't true. They're not posting things on their website that aren't real. This credit is real. And we've just happened to put back a ton of money into business owners' pockets. So a business owner can log on the website, watch a 2-3 minute video if they want to. They don't have to. Learn everything they need to know. Talk to me if they need to. Answer a couple of basic company questions. Contact information. What kind of impact did you have during the pandemic? Did you take PPP money or not? If you did, when did you take it? How much did you take? Hit submit, and now they're logged into my system. They get a welcome email. One of my intake specialists calls them and personally talks to them and welcomes them to the company and thanks them for the opportunity to teach them and help them about this program and hopefully get some money back for them. That's not happening in any other company. You can't talk to the CEO. You can't talk to managing partners. You can't talk to anybody that needs information or has the information to give. So that's where we set ourselves apart. Now, the other difference is this. Every company is a little bit different, but we are averaging $20,000 to $21,000 in credit per employee. Austin said it earlier. The maximum recovery is $26,000 per employee. How are we able to recover so much per employee? It's because we've read all 6,000 pages of documentation. We've read every code, every rule, every amendment, every aspect of this program. We are the best at it. And when you're the best at it, you know how to go do the calculation correctly. You know how to go get the business owners the money back and the most money back they deserve without breaking the rules. Okay. So those are some of the key things that make us different, right? Now, Austin, am I able to share my screen? Okay, awesome. Listen, I don't want anyone to think, oh, Shane's perception, Shane's opinion. I want you to see it with your own eyes, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen for just a second, and I'm gonna take you to the irs.gov website, and I want you all to see it with your own eyes because I get a lot of these comments. Shane, my accountant, my CPA, my attorney said, we don't qualify because we made too much money. That is not true. You could have made 50 times more money during the pandemic than you made pre-pandemic, and the IRS doesn't care. There is nothing, not one rule, not one stipulation, not one guideline that says you could not make more money. If you did lose money, if you did have a gross receipts decline during the pandemic in 2020, 2021, compared to 2019, it's an automatic qualification for ERC. Yes. And you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to document anything. You don't have to put anything together. It's an easy way to qualify, but it's not the number one way to qualify. So I want you all to see it for yourself. We're on the irs.gov website. You can clearly see it, and it's clearly talking about guidance on the employee retention tax credit under section 2301 of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. So I'm not making the program up. It's real. It's right here on the irs.gov. Now, the next most important thing is this. Who are eligible employers? Who can qualify, and what are the ways to qualify? I'm going to show you this first. It says right here, or number 2, or if you had a gross receipts decline, you can qualify. That's the second way to qualify, not the number one way. So number one way to qualify is right here. It clearly says, hold on, this acts funny when I try to highlight it. There we go. All right. The number one way, it clearly says number 1 right there. if the operation of the trade or business is carried on during calendar year 2020 on this statement, it also applies for 2021. The only thing that changed during 2021 is more people are available, different types of companies. The guideline and the rule is exactly the same. Oh, and by the way, in 2021, you can get back way more money than 2020. So it says, if you were fully or partially suspended due to orders from appropriate governmental authority limiting commerce, travel, or group meetings for any of the above, commercial, social, religious, and guys, I can't make it up. The last one is so empowering because guess what? It says other purposes. If you were impacted during the pandemic and you can prove the impact that happened to your business, and when I say prove, I mean, if you have some email communication, if you have some type of reporting that you can put together, if you have communication, if you have any kind of statements or governmental orders or any press releases from your state representative, from your governor, from your mayor, it doesn't matter if they said it, it is considered law. And it is considered that you follow the order, okay? If any of that happens, you can qualify for ERC. You do not have to have a gross receipts decline. That is not true. I get this question too. Well, Shane, I was told if you got PPP, you don't qualify. That is not true either. If you took PPP, it just had to be forgiven. If you did not take PPP, you're going to get back more money, right? Because there's rules around PPP. We just have to subtract the PPP from the wages that we use for calculations. So I wanted you all to see it with your own eyes. On my website, I have a link, and it's music to my ears every time I listen to it. But on my website, which here's my website, right? You can easily come watch the 3-minute video that'll teach you everything you need to know about ERC. But this right here is so powerful, okay? If I knew how to share audio over Zoom, I would share audio and I'd play it for you, but I don't know how to share the audio, so you won't hear it. This is the IRS commissioner. This will solidify anything you want to know about it. The program's real. This is the IRS commissioner. This was just a few weeks ago. He was at a meeting and the senator from Virginia was ripping him about the employee retention tax credit filings. The senator says, hey, Daniel, what's going on with ERC credits? My small businesses need this money. We, the government, approved $2.3 trillion has already been set aside. The business owners aren't getting their money fast enough. They need it. Where is it? And Daniel says, he says, I hear you. I promise you, we're doing everything we can. And I assure you, Senator, that we are reviewing every single file. We're auditing it. We're checking it for accuracy. It takes time. So we're not just putting documentation together, sending it to the IRS, and the IRS is cutting a check and no one's looking at it. He's saying it very clearly. We are pre-auditing and checking it before we send this money out to business owners. But Senator, this is the IRS commissioner. He says, hey, today we're processing 20,000 files a week. I'm going to commit to 40,000 files a week. I'm taking my staff, my IRS agents, I'm redeploying them strictly to processing ERC filings. And he committed to 40,000 filings a week, right? That is huge for us because that means that we're not going to start getting money back in 4.5 to 5 months now. Once they catch up, I think we'll start getting this money back in 6 to 8 weeks from filing, right? But it is a wonderful thing. I'm glad they're focused on it because, again, like, I can't say this enough. I hear every day from CEO after CEO, Shane, I need this money. I need this money to keep my people employed, to keep my doors open. Or I love what Virginia and Florence said. When we teach people about financial literacy, they become better savers and they're more prepared. And then guess what? When we give them a chunk of money like this, because some business owners are going to get back 50,000, $1 million, 2 million, 15 million. When we give them a chunk of money like that, they're prepared. I don't care what's coming because we all know something else is coming. When is it going to happen is the question. And are we prepared as small business owners, as families? Are we prepared and are we in a good financial situation to weather the storm? Because guys, pay attention. These large corporations are laying off hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Small business owners are having to lay people off too because the commerce has slowed down. The spending slowed down some. So we got to teach them financial literacy. I love that. I support you guys in that aspect. And then we got to get them a bunch of money so that we can be prepared for the next things that's coming, right? And the truth is this too. They already paid the government this money. So all the government is actually doing is giving them back a small portion of the money that they paid to them already, right? It's kind of like returning a little bit. Here you go for being a good steward and paying us all this money in taxes. We're to give you a little bit back. With that being said, you know, that's kind of my general spiel. I truly, truly love helping people. I love teaching people. And I want people to know what the truth is so they can make an educated decision. Number one, they have to kind of get to know me a little bit and they have to like me, or they usually won't work with you, right? Or they don't like you. So I want them to get to know me a little bit. I want them to get to know my company a little bit. I want them to know the difference, that we answer the phone, that we support them, that we're there for them. And we're going to be there for them years after this filing comes. Because one thing I promise is this: we guarantee all of our work and we guarantee to support them and provide anything necessary if the question ever comes back about show me how you qualify or show me how you got the numbers for your qualification. Okay, so we stand behind our work and we're not going anywhere. Like I said, my staff is in the industry for decades and this is not all we do, but we're very passionate about it. So I'm open for any questions or any feedback. I really didn't get to see the chat, but that's what I'm here for. Let's do it.
All right, great. Thank you so much. That was really great, Shane. Before we move forward, I got some questions and I'm waiting to see questions being loaded into the Facebook comments. Please feel free, if you're listening on Facebook, joining us on Facebook, please just upload your comments on in the comment section and I will read them to the speakers. But we know that the employee retention credit comes from, the ERC comes from the CARES Act legislation that was signed by President Trump, basically to help small businesses out because of the pandemic. Because as businesses, as the entire world shut down, not just the US economy, but because of the entire world that shut down, businesses were affected. Businesses of all sizes were affected, right? But what really caused that hemorrhage in our economic system was the impact to our 30+ million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses create 66% of all net jobs. So when you have your major job creator impacted like this, it's important that we have these credits. It's important that we have the PPP, the EIDL, that were distributed through, the Department of Treasury and also through the U.S. Small Business Administration. So, it got the economic engine going. Folks were able to at least, secure some money in order to go and spend through unemployment, extended unemployment benefits. money was given to businesses who had to shut down for whether it's weeks or months to put money in their hands so they can reopen their businesses, get their employees back, rehire, and also get their operations going. And these were some of the requirements for the patient protection program, but I just want to remind folks of the CARES Act and its impact, its economic impact to small businesses. So again, it was passed by Congress, the U.S. Congress, in March of 2020 to a total of $2.3 trillion in a stimulus bill signed by President Donald Trump. 23% of the entire bill was allocated to small businesses, to the small business community, right? Who does the bill serve? It served for furloughed workers, families with children, small businesses, independent contractors, and gig workers. That was really important about the bill because there were so many gig workers, so many independents, a lot of LLCs that are out there who were impacted by the COVID virus, the COVID pandemic, excuse me, large corporations, the healthcare system, and a breakdown basically of the funds that went to small businesses. About $349 to $377 billion went to maintain payroll and overhead costs through the PPP. 10 billion in emergency grants, 17 billion to pay the interest and fees on small business loans, those loans that could have been defaulted on. The EIDL went to help fund the EIDL program. And of course, the Employee Retention Credit Program, $55 billion allocated. Businesses to receive up to $26,000 per employee in the form of a grant, not a loan, So that's just a little reminder because sometimes, we tend to have short-term memory, of this legislation that's been passed because, the CARES Act, we've got the infrastructure bill, and we've got, all these other pieces of legislation to help, revive the economy and get the economic engine going. But, it's important for us to understand what Shane explained to us because the money is there and for employees. And again, you have to have employees in order to benefit from the ERC program. With the PPP program, we heard some unscrupulous things that were going on and people were just finding employees, in order to qualify for the program. But no, not to play around with the IRS, but it's a program that requires how many employees, Shane?
So the program, you can actually do one employee to an astronomical amount. There's no limit as far as the IRS is concerned. My company is working with 2 to 500. Over 500 is a totally different animal. It's a totally different scenario. I know how to do it, but the only way to qualify for ERC over 500 is for the employees that you paid to do no work. So the employee had to sit at home, get paid to do nothing is the only way you can qualify over 500. And it's only for those employees that you paid to not work. So I do 2 to 500 personally.
Right. So the ones you paid, you paid out of salary to that didn't work.
Yeah, companies over 500 can qualify as well if the employee got paid to do no work.
Right. Okay. And what's the balance? What's the ERC balance? Is there an actual balance that is known?
No. I know this. Statistically, it shows that over 13 million small business owners today have no clue that the program exists.
Wow.
And then there's about another 7 to 10 million that have a basic understanding because they're getting blasted with emails, they're getting blasted with phone calls every day. Nobody wants to talk to a robocall. When it comes to this program, they want to talk to somebody they trust,
right?
Which is, where the relationship comes in with a referral partner, because I want someone to come to us that's ready, that's kind of has a basic understanding and they trust us. So statistically, they show about 7-8 million small business owners actually understand it and have applied for it.
Mhm. Oh, okay. And one of your competitive one of the competitive advantages of your business is that you can get this process complete in 4.5 months, as
That's
opposed
that's
to
money back in their pocket in 4.5 months.
4.5
right?
months, right?
Yep.
From initial contact to the end of the business relationship is 4.5 months, as opposed to 9 months, 8, 9, 10 months with your competitors.
Yes.
Right. Right. And also, if a business can get up to 26,000 per employee, if you can explain claiming up to 5,000 in 2020 and up to 7,000 in credit per employee per quarter, if you can explain that part, because those who might see that might be a little bit confused, like me.
Sure. Yeah. Look, Austin, we're probably gonna blow a lot of them away because I can get way down in the weeds, but I'm gonna try
Right,
to
it's all good.
I'm gonna try to stay to like a 30,000 foot view, okay?
Yes, sir.
So for 2020, we can get a maximum of 5,000 per employee total.
Hmm.
In 2021, we can get a maximum of 7,000 per employee per quarter.
Mhm.
So we're filing for businesses that have been established, that have been in business since 2019 or earlier in most cases. And we're filing for Q2, Q3, Q4 of 2020. And we're filing for Q1, Q2, and Q3 of 21.
Okay.
So that's the breakdown. It's 5,000 max per employee for 2020, and then 7,000 per employee per quarter for a total of 21,000 for 2021. And you add the 5,000, that's where you get to 26. Now, Austin, I'm going to drop a bombshell here because I sat in a lot of panels with a lot of very established organizations, and I'm talking about attorneys and CPA firms. We're not in the arena with bookkeepers and accountants. CPA firms, attorneys, that's the arena we're in.
Mhm.
I sit on a panel in front of hundreds of business owners,
Mhm.
and the business owners are asking very direct, valid questions.
Mhm.
And I had to drop a bombshell is this. There's no guarantee in this, so I love the legal disclaimer. There's no guarantee, but 80% of the filings I'm doing, if they filed on time in 2022, I've recovered 3/4 worth of money for 2022 as well.
Mhm.
So that is a very big differentiator between me and any other company, because I literally sat on this panel multiple times and watched business owners say, hey, what about 2022? Oh, no, no, no. 2022, there's no such thing. There's no money. The program ended in September of 2021. There is no 2022 money. There's no guidance. Well, they're correct in one thing. The IRS has not released guidance. The IRS has not released a filing procedure, a calculation procedure. But the cool thing is this. Companies were getting approved for 2020 and 2021. It's triggering an automatic review of 2022, and the IRS has already approved and sent my clients their checks for 2022 as well. Now, if I get a company $1 million back and they get 2022 on top of it, they just got $2 million back. It doubled the return.
Oh, okay. And in 2021, 7,000 per employee per quarter. Are you reapplying at the end of the quarter, or is this money allocated each quarter? You get a lump sum, and then by the end of the quarter, you get a lump sum for the next quarter, for the subsequent quarter. How does that work?
So we file for all quarters at the same time,
Mhm.
but every quarter is an actual independent file. So we send it all in one packet to the IRS.
Mhm.
The IRS assigns an agent to each quarter. Sometimes it's the same agent, sometimes it's different agents. I don't know why they do it that way, but I assume to try to keep some kind of checks and balances, right?
Right.
So
Right.
every quarter is reviewed independently and approved independently, and they're all filed at the same time for our situation,
Right.
unless there's an anomaly. So if a client can't get their documentation together for one quarter, we can file for the other 5. And then when they give me the documentation for the missing quarter, I can file it separately. So there are a lot of ways that we can do it, and we just want to get it in as fast as possible so they can
Right.
get their money. But they'll receive a check, a physical check per quarter sent to the business owner. And you said something so powerful earlier. I hope everybody caught it. The ERC credit is a non-earmarked fund. It is a tax credit. It is tax-free money to the business owner and to the company. The companies do not have to claim that credit as taxable income to the business, nor to themselves as the owner. Now, that being said, they will have to show that they received the money, and it'll be a general ledger transaction in the business. So their CPA, their accountant will know what to do, and they'll have to go and make a couple of adjustments and file one amendment for 2020, one amendment for 2021 to
Right.
account for the money. And there might be, a slight tax offset for the deduction taken in that year. So the deduction will be offset, but the actual money received is not revenue or taxable income.
No, okay, that's good. That's good to know. Also, you mentioned something about speaking to mayors of various municipalities. What critical information should municipalities know, or mayors should be kept abreast about in order to, take advantage of the ERC program?
So for the mayor, they have to be really careful with what they do, right? Because they don't want to be considered biased, or they don't want to be considered getting some type of compensation in any way. So for mayors, what they typically do is they just get with their chamber of commerce, right? The people who run the small businesses in their area, and they say, hey, you guys need to talk to this company. You guys need to set up some events, some Zoom calls. I was just in Atlanta. So the Georgia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we did an entire event with them, and we shared it with thousands of business owners just last weekend, right? So that's what they typically do. They'll put you in contact, me or whatever provider reaches out. They'll put us in contact with the right people that kind of give us some credibility so that we can start setting up some communication just like this, right? This is valuable because this is going to be replayed and shared and talked about and hashtagged, and someone's going to hear about it. Someone's going to start filing. They're going to get their credit back. And then guess what? They're going to share it with the next person and the next person, right? That's how it works. It's contagious once it starts coming in.
Right. And this is for-profit, nonprofit, government contracting entities.
So the only entities that don't qualify are state, government, and publicly traded entities. Those are the only companies that don't qualify. So I've done almost every industry you can imagine, right? Charter schools, we've done hospitals. So that's something else I want to throw out there really quickly. Well, Shane, we were an essential business. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say that you're an essential business, you don't qualify. What it says is, if you were an essential business, we just have to go show the impact. And if the impact equals 10% of the gross revenue of the company, whatever the sector is, then you can qualify. Like, I'll give you an example. A hospital might have stayed open, but their rehab facility was not open. They couldn't do rehab services, right? So that's an impact to their business. So state, government, publicly traded entities don't qualify. I've done a ton of churches. Churches, nonprofit, like philanthropists and stuff like that, anyone that has a W-2 employee that claimed those employees under their Social Security portion of their 941s, right? That's the key. You said the key earlier. If you don't have a W-2 employee that you're withholding taxes and claiming as an employee, there's no money to get back because it's a tax credit. So you can't fake this claim, because if 941s aren't there, your payroll summaries aren't there, your profit and loss statements aren't, you can't fake it.
Right. And that's great. That's great to distinguish or to highlight, because I was just going to ask, what about, I mean, just hypothetically, what about a company that hires subcontractors, and of course they wouldn't qualify because those subcontractors are not on a W-2 arrangement.
Correct.
Yeah. And I know we're reached the 8 o'clock mark. I just got a couple more questions, because I definitely I don't know if Jacques is still with us. I know he turned off his camera. I see Miss Eunice who's with us. Do you have any questions?
Hey guys, I'm not on a time schedule, so if we need to go a little long.
I think I have one question.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Eunice. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for the platform. It's very, very helpful.
Yes.
Thank you, Florence. I know I reached out to you the last minute. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for this time. Actually, my only question is, as you said, like you don't pay anything up front. So if a company qualifies, what percentage do you guys take? Or is it a case by case?
No, yes, that's a great question. So I'm gonna answer it with two pieces. Number one, I gauged the market, okay? And what I found was 10% all the way to 50%, right? And I put myself right toward the lower end, right in between, and we charge 20% of the total recovery. So why 20%? Well, I have high income earning people to do the best job available to recover the most money. So my overhead expenses are pretty high, but they're high for a reason. Because another thing that I run into every day is this. Shane, I got my money back. I got $7,000 per employee. And I'm like, wow, $7,000 per employee? I think you're missing at least $10,000 per employee, right? So we do charge 20% of the total recovery, and that 20% guarantees our work for years. So one thing I didn't talk about earlier, because most people really don't understand it, but we are a CPA firm. We are putting our company name, our EIN number, our PTIN number on every document going to the IRS. If we do not do this correctly and accurately, the IRS will revoke our ability to be able to do the filing. So the 20% covers our guarantee. We're putting our name on the line, and we're going to stand behind them for years to come. We carry E&O insurance as well. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, but we carry insurance to protect on the backside of things. And then the business owner will also receive an invoice. So they can turn that invoice into their bookkeeper or their accountant, so they can claim it as a business deduction as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. And guys, look, when you do the math, well, Shane, I can go get it over here for 10%. And I'm like, well, you probably can. Go get your calculation, see how much money you're going to get back. And I guarantee you, even after my fee, you're going to be tens, if not hundreds, if not millions of dollars less than what you would have got with us at 20%. So, you pay for what you get in those circumstances.
Right.
I think it's a win because you're not paying that money back. So either way.
Right. And I think Mr. Laurent, I think he has his hand up. Jacques?
Yes, thank you. And thank you for this presentation, because everything that Shane said is check, because I was getting bombarded with phone calls and emails about, we can help you with the ERC. And I'm like, fraud, and until a friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, did you do your ERC?" I'm like, "No, what's going on with that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just got my first portion of my money." And he's like, "Let me show you how much I got." I'm like, "What?" So that's when I knew it was for real, because that's a good buddy of mine and he would not lead me wrong. And I called my accountant and he told me, "Yeah, that's true." And I'm like, "Why didn't he tell me about that?" So that narrative is true. So right now, actually, I came to this because I wanted to know more. You answered a lot of my questions, so thank you, Shane. The one question I have for you is, when you said the number of employees, with me, I don't always how would I put it? I don't always, so I take a draw at the end as opposed to taking the payment up front. But on my taxes, it shows that there's 2 or 3 of us that are employed. Does that make a difference or no?
So you said you did your filing already, or you're still thinking about it?
For the ERC, I haven't done it.
Okay, well, let me ask you a couple different questions, because this is great, right? And Jacques, it's Jacques, is that what you go by, or is it Jacques? Because I called Jacques earlier and I want to apologize if I said it wrong.
It's Jacques,
Okay, Jacques. So number one, that's a great question, because owners and family members of the owners cannot be used for calculating ERC credit. So whether your corporation or whatever your company, sole proprietorship, C Corp, S Corp, it doesn't matter. If you pay yourself W-2 as the business owner, we cannot use your wages for calculation. So how many actual W-2 employees do you have that are not family or not owners?
So quite often, because of the nature of my work, quite often most of the folks will be 1099.
Oh, gotcha. So do you have any W-2 employees that you paid payroll taxes on?
Not in 2020 or 21.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you would have to have W-2 employees, because we cannot, they make rules, right? Because they consider the business owner is, profiting from the company, and the credit was actually to give you money back to keep employees employed, right? So it is a little twofold there, but no, we can't use your wages or any family member's wages for calculation. So we have to subtract those out.
Okay, well, thank you. So thank you very much. I learned it.
Yes, sir. Now I'll add one caveat to that too. So some people are seasonal and they hire more employees at different times of the year, but they actually have W-2 employees. So remember what I said, it's by quarter. So if one quarter you had 1 employee, and then 1 quarter you had 50, and then 1 quarter you had 20, well, you've got 71 employees now. So we can go capture 20, 51, whatever the employee count was during that quarter are the amount of employees that we use for calculation for that quarter.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. I just got 2 more things, and then then we can get Miss Virginia and Miss Florence to close out on their with any comments they have. So when I did my own research, I noticed that the last extension ended December 21st. I think the extension, I think the ERC, and you could correct me, ERC ended in September 21, but then there was an extension that concluded in 12/21. And you said the period for businesses to claim the credit, it concludes April 15, 2024. Is that correct?
For 2020, April 15th of 2024.
Right. And April 16th, 2024, no more, right?
It's gone.
It's gone. All right. So businesses or business owners, it's important for them to know if with employees, to take advantage of the employee retention credit, they have to seek businesses, CPA firms like yours, and by before April 15, 2024, to apply for the ERC.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, listen, do not wait till the last minute, because hardly no one has their documents ready to go and sends it right over. It takes time to gather everything.
Right.
And the worst case scenario, you run into CPAs and accountants that are too busy and they can't get to your documents to share with us. So you could run out of time there. So I try to tell everybody, hey, we got about 7 months left to get 2020 money. But yes, April 15th, 2024, you can no longer claim 2020 money. And then April 15th of 2025, you can no longer claim the credit.
Okay, so they have until 2025, technically, right?
To get 2021 money.
2021. Okay, 2024.
And that's the big year. That's the year to get back the most money.
Okay, that's what I wanted clarification on. But the important thing is, don't use 2025. Do everything by April 15, 2024, in order to take advantage of 2020 and 2021.
Yes,
Okay.
because listen, for some companies, 2020 could be a 10, 50 grand, 100 grand, or in some cases, 7, 8 million, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave any money on the table, because
you know,
when the program runs, listen, when the program is running, when it's gone, whatever money's left over, it's the government. They're gonna go do something else with it. That money was meant for us. That money was meant to be put back in our bank accounts to rebuild our emergency funds and our nest eggs to keep our people employed.
Right. And for those businesses that are struggling with accounts receivables, right? Those who are, let's say, net 45, net 60, and God forbid, net 90. and it's taking you that much longer to recover money that's owed to you by your customers and your clients, instead of looking at, and because you don't have that money, you're in a time crunch. You're not in a time crunch, in a cash crunch. You're looking at, working capital that's needed to reinvest back into the business, to grow it, to get to order supplies, to pay employees, and so on and so forth. The employee retention credit can help resolve those issues, right? Because now you can recoup that money from the IRS and now reinvest that back into the growth of the business and scale the way you need to scale. So it definitely helps the bottom line, number one, and it helps with cash on hand, working capital for the business, rather than trying to apply for a business loan to bail you out of whatever crunch. Take advantage of the ERC, take advantage of what Shane mentioned on this call tonight, and make sure that you're getting that cash that you need back into your hands, back into your accounts, to help grow and scale your business that you need to grow. Yeah. So Shane, I want to thank you so much. I mean, this has been valuable information, and of course, once I get the link and everything, I will share it with all of you, and you can use it for your customers as well. You, Shane, and Ms. Florence and Ms. Virginia as well. And Shane, I'll go first with you. Any last words?
No, I implore everyone, and I'm going to put my support email address in. You can always email us at this email address.
Okay.
I'm going to put in my number here so that anyone can call or they can email anything that they need. We'll help them out. And I just want to close with this. Do not sit on your hands with this information, because you're hurting families and you're hurting business owners. You must at least share it with them. Let them do whatever they want to do. Their choice is theirs. But if you gave them the information, you did your job. Our only job is to teach and educate. They have to make their own decisions. So I'd love to help anyone. I would love to educate anyone. I will literally spend hours on calls with anyone that wants to learn and understand to either do the program or go help people do the program. I'm committed to it. So I make myself available for it. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Great.
You know, Florence and Virginia asked me to come. I said, absolutely. No
Great.
questions asked. I'll be there and I'm here. So I appreciate you guys. What you guys are doing is impactful and important.
Yeah, thank you. I had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Virginia and Ms. Florence and Mr. Titus at a community event back in February. And, you know, we got together at another event that they did. And then we went out, had lunch, we sat down, had, you know, it was just like old friends catching up. And this is what I love about the networking aspect of meeting like-minded individuals. You know, it's not a stringent connection. You know, you're just, you know, sitting down at lunch and we're just basically trying to find out how we can leverage one another, how we can collaborate, how we can work together. And I really enjoyed that opportunity. And I thank Ms. Virginia, Ms. Florence, Mr. Titus for really reaching out to me and helping to foster this relationship building and then bringing you, Shane, into it, because this is what we need, is the educational aspect that I love to do. You know, make sure I'm working with our area consultants to educate our small business community, because these things really do matter. And like I like to reiterate, if you're strapped for cash because you're not getting those receivables in, because you're going past a net 30, you know, if you're looking at your cash flow statement and you're wondering where you're going to get the available cash from for that build out to cover your operations expenses, your payroll, take a look at the ERC. Look at you have employees, you contact Shane, and you go contact a CPA that's working to help you take advantage of the employee retention credit program. And because that's where you can find your cash, the cash that you need in order to scale and grow the way you want to grow. And may I ask, is that an American flag folder behind you there?
It is.
It is. Are you a veteran?
I am not. My wife is, and
Your wife is.
Everyone in our family is. So that's for her father.
All right. Well, we thank them for their service. You know, it's very commendable. Thank you so much. You know, and thank you for supporting your family in that endeavor as well. You know, and now Ms. Florence and Ms. Virginia, please close out with some final thoughts. You pull this all together for us. So, Ms. Florence, we'll let you go first.
Thank you so much, Austin. It's been indeed a pleasure for listening to Shane bringing all this valuable information. And like what I would like to encourage everybody, most people say information is power, but it's really not powerful unless it's applied. So business owners, please, there's going to be some links posted on the Facebook Live, on YouTube, where you can click on the link and see if you qualify. And if you do, I am so happy because I've already referred, like a business, and they told me, wow, this is like really simple to just, process, upload the paperwork and everything. So Shane, outstanding job with your team. Thank you so much for all the support. And this is a family operation. Like, you feel literally like you're being taken care of by your family. And that's right. One thing I love. And one thing I can say is everybody that I speak to that I'm, sharing the information with, you become part of my family too. And we give you the full support. We are not going anywhere, but let's go ahead. And if you know any business owners, refer them, because we need everybody to get back the money that the government is holding on to. Yeah. So, and that's going to bring a lot of, economic betterment for the community. Yeah. And also, we have a great opportunity for people who would like to partner with us. We're looking for referral partners as well. Obviously, we cannot reach all 13 million business owners that have not been reached yet. So definitely feel free to reach out to me, to Virginia, and we will show you how you can get partnered with us. And it's a very simple, process. And, let's help as much as we can. Also, on the other front, as I mentioned, I'm a licensed financial professional. If you have a group of people that you feel need some financial literacy, that is all I do. Please allow me to empower you with some simple financial concepts that will bring a change to your family, to yourselves. I've seen a lot of people working and then they get sick and income stops coming in. They did not have an income protection. That should not be happening when we have resources to help make sure that in case you ever got sick, your income is still coming into the family. We have, and your speakers, man, Austin, you bring some amazing people. I listened to the other lady you had brought previously talking about business protection.
Yes.
Same thing with trust. I have an all-round team where I give access to attorneys, to CPAs, to make sure that those businesses are protected, make sure those legacies are protected. And I don't charge anything. All I charge is referrals. If I help you, then send some people to, for us to be able to help more people. But thank you so much. This has been incredible. And obviously looking forward to working on more initiatives like this. And I'll let Virginia go.
Yes, Ms. Virginia.
Thank you, Mr. Shane. You brought a lot of value. I have listened to you, but today you brought, you could see me lighting, so I took a lot of notes. Because these things, we have to keep on hearing them over and over again. It's like reading the Bible. You never get enough of the Bible. You have to keep reading it and reading it and reading it until you understand it. So thank you very much. And thank you, Austin, for even bringing us here. I know we are impacting lives, and that's all we are all about, impacting lives and changing lives, because there's somebody's life that is going to be changed just for us sitting down here and talking about ERC.
Right.
Even if it's only one person, somebody's life is going to be changed. And I pray and believe that it's you and your business that is going to be changed. And you remember Shane, you remember Virginia, you remember Florence, you remember Titus, you remember Austin for bringing this value to you. Because if Austin did not give us the platform, we'll not be here and you will not be listening to us. If Shane did not agree to come and share, we will not be bringing the value that he brought, because he is the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. So he knows the in and outs. And here we are partnering with him so we can be able to help you. So as I said in the beginning, take it and learning with it. I usually say when I practice my financial business that the worst case scenario is a no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never a no until it's a no. So let's try, let's put that paperwork through, let's Shane do his job, do whatever he's supposed to do because he knows how to do it. And then he'll come back to us and tell us what he has found.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to extend on what Ms. Florence stated, she mentioned the young lady from the during National Small Business Week. I had a 3 webinars, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of National Small Business Week. And one of the 3 webinars was attorney Sandra Jean, who spoke about, protecting the assets of your business and really looking at the legal documents, contracts, agreements, and so on and so forth, and not jeopardizing your business and your assets by not having the proper legal steps in place. Sandra was also the founder of, in addition to being a wonderful, astounding attorney, she's also the founder of the Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. And Jacques, who's joining us tonight, is the vice president of the Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. And maybe there'll be an opportunity for you to address their membership at some point in time. But I've known Jacques for a long time, and he's a really good, upstanding guy. And congratulations to him. Just finished up his master's at Kennesaw State. Was there to help, celebrate with him. And Mr. Titus, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure to meet you and to get you to know you as well. And Ms. Eunice for joining us this evening. I always say, you know, there's no successful pathway through life without education, right? And once we educate ourselves and feed our minds with the right information that we need in order to grow as businesses, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as we navigate this ecosystem, we can do it successfully. But the way to do it successfully is to have access to and to arm yourself with the information you need to grow to grow successfully and to imagine the success and realize the success that you have for yourself. We had 3 phenomenal speakers tonight. You'll have their contact information. I will get the link. It will be placed on my Facebook page. It will be on my YouTube channel. The link will be given out to all who attended tonight, plus our speakers, so you can put it on your social media feeds and share it with your audiences and share it with your network. You know, as Ms. Virginia says, no family left behind, and no entrepreneur left behind, no business owner left behind. And this is the great thing about building a huge network. You know, they say your network is your net worth, right? So we're building great networks, building our net worth by connecting ourselves with the right people. So I thank you all so much for making this a reality, Employee Retention Credit. Next month, in July, we will focus on next month in July, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're gonna have a panel for that. And then August is Black Business Month. So we'll have some more panels there. And then, you know, we'll build out the webinars as we go on. So we thank you for supporting Thompson Management Consulting. We do this for the small business community. We do this for the entrepreneurs, because we know that without the support, without the mutual support, we will struggle. We will have a hard time. So take advantage of the information, not just for tonight, but all the information that comes out through our events and through our webinars. Our YouTube channel is TM Consulting LLC, TM Consulting LLC. And you'll find all the videos that have been uploaded there. I want to thank you all so much again. Have a wonderful evening. If you have any questions or so on, and also if you have any other links, in addition to what I put in the chat, please send them to me, because once I load up the video on the YouTube channel, I'm going to include all those in the comments section. All right. So thank you once again for making this. Somebody had a question? The hand up?
No, he's clapping. Hey, Austin, I got a question real quick.
Oh, Jacques. Go ahead, Jacques.
Yeah. No, he was clapping.
Clapping for this superstar team here and the great job you have done.
Thank you.
Hey, Austin, how do I find you on Facebook?
Austin, you can look at Thompson Management Consulting for my business Facebook page, and Austin E. Thompson Jr. for my personal page.
Awesome. I'm gonna go give you a follow.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. It was a pleasure, and anytime you need me, I'm here for you. I can have my wife get on the month after next, right? Because I mean, we are a biracial family, right? That's one thing I was trying to say is I really understand what it's like to live in different communities and be a community that no one's willing to help.
Right.
So I see it with our children every day. And Austin, you said something really powerful is our society today is trying everything they can to put the devil between us and rip us apart to where we won't collaborate, we won't get together, we won't network. And if we can start small and just grow every day, we will be unstoppable.
Yes,
right?
yes,
that's right. I appreciate you guys.
Building meaningful relationships to build meaningful lives. Great. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.